Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot. This is your full moon in Libra message. This time around, I decided to do the full moon readings a little bit differently. You're the second one that I'm doing. I just finished up Aries. So I created a bag prior to the full moon in Libra, and then I laid out all 12 bags in that beautiful pink moonlight that we had with the full moon in Libra on April 1st. And each bag, I did not look at any of these things as I randomly put them in, but they will be your message today. Of course, I put a authentic selenite stone as well as a evil eye stone there to protect your message. We have bones, we have money, tower, contact, and lies. We'll see how this all plays out for your message. You then have watch your attitude, and you have trust is at issue. Use your gut and don't engage in the emotions. Let's see what else we have here in this bag for you. Okay. And I love the Taurus bag that I selected for you because it does depict a snake, but snake do shed their skin. So I think for a lot of you, maybe you're shedding something from your past away. It doesn't have to be a particular connection. It could just be maybe like a version of yourself or something like that. But I do feel like you're transmuting or growing at this time. So your letters, my dear, we have T, M, C, J, F, G, S. They may be your letters, they may not. This is a connection-based reading because the full moon in Libra, Libra is the house of partnerships, whether they are professional, platonic, or romantic. We then have the stone of relax. Don't try and force things. So let's put all these over here for you. Watch your attitude. Trust is at issue. Don't try and force things. Money, tower, contact, lies. You have a heart. You have a wing. You have cherries, a snowflake, a starfish, a crown. You have a bow and arrow. It's a sign for Sagittarius. Some of you may have Sagittarius in your chart. You have a flame, a toothbrush. You could be in the dental industry. Maybe just take really good care of your teeth. You have the 4-leaf clover. You have a crab. Maybe you enjoy eating crabs. Maybe you have some, we kind of have a little bit of a seaside theme. So maybe you live near the shore, or maybe you like to vacation there. You also have, it's not about winning. Interesting. You have clarity, education, patience. You have a heart, although half of it appears to be missing. Again, you have another fish, and you have a cross. So some of you may be very religious, very spiritual. It doesn't have to denote Christianity or anything like that. It could just be a symbol that you are a very religious person. So let's get into your message here. Your oracle card, and by the way, it is a collective general reading, so as messages come through, just take what fits, leave what doesn't. If it's not your message, it simply means that it's meant for someone else. Make sure you check out your other placements if you don't know what they are. In the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. And keep in mind that this could be in regards to any type of connection you have in your life, professional, platonic, or romantic. So you have card number 49, territory. Crows are very territorial. They have distinct groups, and they will not hang out too long on a block that is not theirs. Territory indicates that someone may be entering your space uninvited, or that you may be the one who is the intruder. This card may also ask if you are protecting something out of concern that someone may be trying to step on your toes or take over something you cherish. When territory appears in a reading, you may need to consider what boundaries are in place or if they are needed. Would the situation benefit from establishing some ground rules? Territory may also appear if you need to carve out some space for yourself, whether that be within your home or in the form of time to be alone. You may need to define an area that is solely yours and yours alone. So let's see where we go with this message, Taurus. Let's get a Moonology card here, please, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is their Moonology card here for the full moon in Libra? And in case I didn't mention the date, this is for April 2026. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. Your Moonology card. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. And at the bottom of the deck, we have meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. Okay, let's get into tarot. Tell me more about territory here for the Taurus collective. Sun, moon, rising, as well as Venus placements. And how does this pertain to a connection or connections in their life at this time? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Empress. That's you. That's your major arcana card. The Ten of Cups and the Knight of Swords. You then have the Nine of Swords, the Fool, and Justice. At the bottom of the deck, Taurus, you have the Eight of Swords, you have the Three of Wands, and you have the Four of Wands. That leaves the Four of Cups, High Priestess, your intuition. Trust your gut, trust your intuition. Ace of Cups to the Emperor here at the bottom of the deck. Okay, I'm going to clarify this using the pulp deck. I received this as a gift a few years ago. I love the images on this deck. So let's see where we go with this message. Clarify this further, please, for me, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Let's clarify the Empress. Clarify the Empress, please, for Taurus at this time. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Empress is clarified by the Two of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. So I have a group of you. Bottom of the card is the Death card. And the Death card in tarot talks about an ending for a new beginning. And I feel like that's kind of the space that you find yourself in right now, Taurus. There seems to be a connection here in your life in that Six of Cups energy that you are not sure if you want to end it once and for all and walk away from this person, or if you want to rebirth the connection with this person, because Death could talk about rebirth as well. But the feeling here that I'm getting is like you're not sure if this person is your Nine of Cups. Are they your ultimate best friend, ultimate lover, you know what I mean? Ultimate family member, ultimate boss that you want to work for, or business partner that you want to have. Again, it's a connection-based reading, but who this person is for each of you is unique and different for all of you. But I see you here contemplating in regards to this one particular connection. Does it make me happy to engage with this person? Nine of Swords. And you're very much up in your head about this. And we see this here as well with that Eight of Swords. So tell me about the Nine of Swords. Why is Taurus in the Nine of Swords? Between the Two of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Eight of Swords, I think you are trying to gain some clarity over this connection. Because I don't think you know what to do with it as of yet. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Nine of Swords is clarified by the Empress. So that definitely is you very much worried, thinking about this. Five of Swords and the Queen of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Swords. Let's say this is a work environment here for you, Taurus. Some of you may feel like, I'm not sure if I want to continue working at this job because maybe there's just too much competition for your position. Five of Swords to the Queen of Wands. You could feel like someone is trying, remember, we're clarifying the territory card. So you may feel like I'm not very secure at this job because other people are vying for my position. Therefore, it puts a lot of stress and strain for me to show up in my best form every single day at this job. For others of you, if this is like a friendship or a family connection, you could feel like the connection with that person is threatened because maybe there's another friend or family member in their ear or trying to garner their attention. If we're looking at this in terms of a romantic partnership, you could feel very territorial over this person. Like, this is my person, right, with that territory card. But you may feel like there's competition for this person, or that this person has someone else in that Queen of Wands. Or maybe you're being lied to about a Queen of Wands. I don't read body parts. It could be King of Wands. So I think you're trying to gain clarity over this. Ace of Swords. Yes, you're trying to gain clarity. Number one, am I still happy with this connection? And number two, I think there's some concern here that there could be competition or lies, or maybe lies regarding a competition, because we have the lies card here as well. Okay, let's see where we go with this message. 10 of Cups. Clarify the 10 of Cups here. For Taurus, clarify the 10 of Cups, please. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The 10 of Cups is being clarified by the World, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Swords again. So there was a point in time when this connection made you very happy in the 10 of Cups. You did see this as, this is a person I want to spend the rest of my life with, have a family with. This is a job that makes me very emotionally content. I'm happy doing it. I don't just show up for the paycheck type of feeling. Or this is a friend or family member that is really part of my inner circle. It's not the person I see once a year at a wedding or a funeral. You have close interaction. But you have been contemplating closing the chapter with this and moving on from this individual, becoming single, free, and independent of it. Maybe even trying to find happiness elsewhere in other connections. I think you've given considerable thought to this with that 9 of Swords. And that's clarifying the 10 of Cups. For others of you, you could feel like the emotional contentment that you had in this connection, which at one point was the 10 of Cups, has now been reduced to the 3 of Cups. You could also almost feel like a lone wolf here type of situation. Like, I used to collaborate well with this person or these people, but now I feel very singular. So it's almost giving me this feeling, and again, we got the 9 of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Tower. It's almost like you're, it's almost like you're existing in this connection, but feeling a bit lonely at the same time. And I think for some of you, it's because there's been a reduction in happiness here. Again, going from the 10 to the 3. So the Fool card. Clarify the Fool card here, please, for Taurus. And I know a few of you lately have said, I've already done, I've already moved out of this and I'm in a new connection or new job. Then I would just recommend that you check another placement of yours. Maybe, your sun, moon, rising. I don't know which placement that you're watching for. Maybe possibly even your Venus. And I say that because you may be ahead of the timeline for that particular collective placement. Tell me about the Fool. One more shuffle. Thank you. But for those of you where this message is resonating, we have the Queen of Cups, we have Temperance, and we have the Emperor. Bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess. To the King of Cups, to the 4 of Pentacles. So I almost see you here split between 2 worlds. The Temperance card is split right in half. So I think that some of you have a choice here. You have a choice where you could bring love back into the situation. Like, show up to work with more of, I really love being here, right? Trying to raise your vibration. And for others of you, you feel like the only way to bring love into the situation is to exit the situation and move elsewhere. So that new beginning is like a twofold message in that Fool card. It's like, I could open up my heart to this a little bit more to see if this connection will blossom or grow or be restored to what it used to be. Or I could pivot and move in a new direction and open up my heart in that direction. So with the High Priestess, I feel like you're really trying to go within and figure out what is best for you at this time. Knight of Swords. I get the feeling here that you don't want to sit complacent with this anymore, which is unusual for a Taurus energy. Usually you like meditating and sitting in something until you feel absolutely confident about the direction you want to take. But I think you've been doing that already for a long time. I think that Empress to the 2 of Swords, I don't think that's been like a 2-week process for you. I think you have been ruminating. 9 of Swords, we saw that twice, 8 of Swords, about this for a long time. I just don't think you have a final answer yet. Tell me about that Knight of Swords. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Swords is clarified by the 4 of Wands. You have that here as well. The Moon and the Ace of Cups. Bottom of the deck, you have the Chariot. Yeah, this is the feeling that I get. I want to move out of this place of complacency. You're just unsure at this time which direction you want to go in. There's also a feeling here with that Justice card. All right, let me clarify Justice before I speak on that. Clarify Justice here, please. One more shuffle. Thank you. The card that came out was the Fool. There's the new beginning. The Page of Swords and the 9 of Swords again. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands. So there is a part of you like, I want to move in this other direction. but you're worried about it. I also think that in the interim, until you decide exactly what it is that you want to do or speak this into existence once you make your decision, I think for right now, you're trying to keep things balanced. Justice is Libra energy. So regardless of whether or not this is at work or with a friend or family member or lover, I think you are trying to watch your attitude. I think you're trying to keep things very balanced. It's like, I don't think you want the tower moment just yet because you're not absolutely sure if you want to move on from this territory, like from this connection or this situation or this environment. So I think at the present time, you are trying to bring love into the situation, even if it's just a little bit. I just think you're trying to keep things equal until you figure out what it is that you want to do. Do you want to try to have a new beginning in this connection, or do you want to have a new beginning outside of this connection? So you are being incredibly patient with yourself at this time. Tell me about the money component here. Why is that card here? Yeah, trust is at issue. Trust your gut and don't engage in the emotions. And I think that's what you're trying to do. I think you're trying not to give in to the emotions at this time. I think you're in heavy contemplation. That new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. You're not trusting your gut right now. Maybe when it comes to whether or not there's competition for your job or competition for this person's attention, there's something here you're not trusting. Some of you, you're not trusting yourselves enough. So I think right now you're watching your attitude. You're not trying to force anything. And you're just having patience with yourself and with the situation until you can figure things out. We have the Eight of Swords clarified by the Three of Wands and the Four of Wands. So we have two Aries cards here that do talk about action and moving forward. But I think you're waiting here again. And you seem to be keeping yourself in this self-imposed imprison. That's how some tarot readers read that Eight of Swords. But I think you're purposely keeping yourself here. It's like not sure if you want to land the plane. So you just kind of keep circling the airport because you're not sure, do I want to land here or maybe go elsewhere? It's like you're in a holding pattern. Tell me more about the money component here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The money component is being clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. There's that Three of Wands again. And then we have the Sun, bottom of that Queen of Swords. So there is something here, and I don't want to be crude when I say this, but there's something here in regards to sunk cost fallacy. Like, I've invested a lot into this, maybe a lot of money, maybe a lot of time. Pentacle resource could be time, love, money, commitment, talent. Like, if this is work. So I just think that you're looking at this like, I've invested a lot of something into this. So it's not that easy for you to make a decision. Like, this isn't a job that you've been at for 2 weeks, or a friend you've known for 3 days, you know, or a romantic partnership you've been in for a year. There's been substantial investment on your part in whatever this is. There could also be, for some of you, like, you have accrued a lot of money, like you don't like what you do for a living, but you make a lot of money there, and moving in another direction, you could fear not being able to find the job that pays you that or gives you that type of benefits package that you currently have. There could also be some fear here involved with the risk of leaving a committed partnership, that you have money entangled or property entangled with this individual. And in that respect, there could be a concern here. If I move on in that respect, let's say this is someone you're married to, Emperor to the Empress, to the Four of Wands, to Justice, you could fear going from a 2-income household to a 1-income household. These are general collective readings. Only take them if they resonate to you. But there is concern here. And I think the concern is about, if I were to move in another direction, this would cause a tower moment for me, even though you would be moving into something better with the Sun. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. It's almost like you want to avoid the tower. Tell me more about that Tower card. Clarify the Tower card here. One more shuffle. Thank you. I also want to say with that Justice card, you could feel obligated with the cross here. Like you made some kind of commitment, whether that's legal, or you could feel moral or religious. It's almost like, well, I'm committed to this, so I don't know if I can move on. I can move on from it. Yeah, and we only have the one wing here. Like, I don't know if I can go solo now. I don't know if I could go solo. Tell me more about the Tower here for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Tower is clarified by the Lovers, the Five of Wands, and the Five of Cups. That's exactly what it is. Bottom of deck, Hierophant. That is your major arcana card to the Death card. So there's something here like, if I'm in the pursuit of this new Ten of Cups, maybe to replace the former Ten of Cups, there's a feeling here, if I put an end to that, I'm also making the choice to create a Tower moment in my life, which would come with sadness, remorse, regret, arguments. A little similar to Aries, where I think that this would be easier for you if you can transition from one to the other, or just transition out of this without having to deal with the Tower. So I think you're keeping yourself, I have a Taurus here who's keeping themselves in this holding pattern, staying in something that maybe once upon a time made them happy, but they're no longer content or happy, or they're questioning whether or not their happiness is still here because they don't want to trigger a Tower moment for themselves or for the other person or people involved. I think with that Moon card, this is a very emotional decision for you. Moon to the Ace of Cups. Tell me more about and I just noticed on the heart here also, it's only half full. And that was the feeling I got. Like at once upon a time, this was the Ten of Cups or had the potential to be the Ten of Cups, but it's been like depleted or like reduced. Like your heart no longer feels whole. Your heart is no longer in this job or in this connection with this friend, family member, or lover. And I think you contemplate whether or not you can restore it or whether or not it's better for you to move in another direction. There's a lot of sea references here with the fish, the star, the crab. So it's possible for some of you, you have been contemplating this maybe since last summer season, whatever last summer season was for you, depending on where you live in the world, whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, or you're hoping to be able to make a decision and move in some kind of direction by the upcoming summer season. Tell me more about contact. What is this contact here for Taurus? Tell me more about contact. One more shuffle. Thank you. Contact is clarified by the Death card, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Swords. Bottom of deck, Two of Cups. Knight of Cups and the Star. So I think for a lot of you, you are desiring a conversation with this other individual, this friend, this family member, or this lover. It's almost like you would like to maybe even have like a face-to-face discussion with them to discuss this, what you're going through, or what you would like for the connection. So I could have a group of you here where there is a part of you, it's like maybe before I look for another job, maybe I should sit down and talk to my boss about some of the reservations or hesitations that I have. Same thing as if this is with a friend, family member, or lover. Some of you may be like, maybe I really need to sit down and talk to this person before I make the decision to fully exile them from my life or fully end the connection with them. But again, you're undecided about whether or not that's the best course of action here. Tell me about it. It's not about winning. What is that? It's not about winning. One more shuffle. Thank you. It's not about winning. King of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Wands, King of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. I think that this connection for you is someone that you want in your life. Like, I don't think it's about winning for you, Taurus. I don't think you feel like I have to keep this job so, Mary Jane down the hall doesn't take it. I don't think it's about that. I don't think this is, I want to be with this person so someone else doesn't want to be with them. I think for you, there is a genuine love for what you do for a living, or you genuinely care or love this person, this friend, family member, or lover. Like, I think it's genuine on your part. I don't think it's about winning. You may view it as a territory because it's like a comfort zone, or again, once upon a time, it made you very happy. And to some extent, it still does. But I think there's genuineness here on your part. I don't think it's I'm holding on to this because I'm trying to win something. I don't think that's those of you that I'm reading for. Now it's interesting that we have two things here that speak to Sagittarius. So again, some of you could have some high Sagittarius placements. I want to start getting you some advice now, Taurus. So I have a group of you where you are currently in a connection. You feel a bit territorial over it, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic, but I think it's because it's been in your life for a long time. You have or you feel that you have a deep connection with this individual. You're no longer happy, though, with it. You could feel like there's some lies or deception or competition for your position as it relates to that connection. Like a lot of people want your job or want your person, something like that. You're not trusting the connection fully at this time, and you're trying to gain clarity about whether or not you should stay and try making more of an effort or opening up your heart to it more, or whether you should move in another direction. You seem to be concerned about money or stability if you were to move in another direction, because you would be triggering the Tower moment. You're a little reluctant at this time to do it. And so it looks like because you do want to make this work, you are giving serious contemplation and maybe having some type of discussion with this person. I think I got all of that right. And then you can be more educated about whether or not they want to work on this connection, or maybe they can provide you with some clarity. So I think that's where the education card here comes into play. It's like, maybe after I talk to this person, then I will be better able to make a more educated decision for myself. We have the relaxed stone. So I do think right now you're trying not to force things. You're going with the flow. It's a very relaxed energy. I think you're watching yourself. I don't think like you're trying to cause any type of disruption here. But this connection, regardless of what it is for you, it's heavy for you to carry it. It's heavy for you to exist in it. It's heavy for you to invest in it. King of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Hierophant, there you are. So it's like I continue to show up at work, but I'm not sure I still want to be there. I continue to invest in, if this is a romantic partnership, I have to be honest, except for that Queen of Cups, where you're not sure whether or not you want to open up your heart or reopen up your heart to this person. This seems to be more like day to day. If this is like a romantic partnership, especially maybe one you live with that Four of Wands card, because that came up here twice. This is just doing bare bones in the connection. Like we're paying our bills together. We're getting along. I'm keeping the peace. We're not arguing. But for a romantic partnership to get the Three of Pentacles, it's almost like some of you feel a bit friend zoned by this individual. And if this is a friend or family member, we're just kind of doing the friend and family member thing. We're not doing anything extra. There's no, whatever this connection is, there's no fire in it anymore. There's no fire. There's no excitement. There's no, this friend isn't calling you up and being like, hey, I got 2 tickets Friday night to ABC. Do you want to come with me? If a romantic partnership may have lost the fire. It doesn't mean you don't desire it. It may have lost the fire. So whatever this is kind of has lost the spark for you in that respect. But I do think with the snowflake card that you find this to be a unique connection. That might be why it's difficult for you to fully move on from it, or you're looking for some more clarity. I think now that I look at that, the bow and arrow, I think you're trying to get a more expansive view about what to do or how to approach this situation. We do have that, the 4-leaf clover. So there is something here about luck or divine timing at play. And we have the crown, which is the Empress. I do think that you're probably in a bit of a glow up stage as well. And we are nearing your season. So that is to be expected. And then, like I said, some of you may like cherries, or maybe you work in the dental industry, or you just take very good care of your teeth, or maybe this person does. Only take the messages how they resonate to you. Let's get you some advice here, Taurus. So if you enjoyed this reading, if it hit home for you, if you can relate to it in some way, please drop some comments below. We have the next full moon will be in May 1st in Scorpio, your opposite sign. So if you like that reading, I will do something similar with different cards and different charms for you. And we'll see what messages we get at that time. Yeah, and full moons are all about releasing. So you seem to be meditating and contemplating, do I really want to just release this or move on? So let's get you 3 cards of advice, Taurus, on how to, in the interim that you're still existing in this connection. 3 cards of advice for Taurus when it comes to existing in the connection at this time. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your advice. We have the Six of Swords, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Page of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups, which was that first connection here. Knight of Swords. I think there is something here. Again, it's only advice for you to talk, right? Page of Swords, talk, to have a conversation, to explain to this individual that if this particular connection does not improve, that it would be regrettable for you, but you would have no choice but to move on from it in that Six of Swords. Again, that's only advice, but there's something here about you having a discussion with this person. Like if things don't improve here at the work front or in this friend connection or familial connection or romantic partnership, I'm going to have no choice but to move on from it because, again, Three of Cups, I'm just no longer as happy as I used to be or as happy as I would like to be with the connection. And let's get you 3 cards of advice in general here. 3 cards of advice in general here for the Taurus collective, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. But this seems to be high stress for you right now, but I think you conceal it very well because that 10 of Wands is followed by the King of Pentacles, and that's you. That's the highest vibration of Taurus, of the earth sign. So I don't think you show it well, that it stresses you out. Yeah, this whole situation here stresses you out, especially the contemplation of like, once I say it, I can't take it back. Once you tell this person, look, I'm not happy with the way things are, or I desire something else, it's like you can't take it back. And I think that's another fear here that's playing into this. 3 cards of advice here for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice, judgment. It is time to make a judgment call about whether or not you want to move on from this or rebirth it in some way. We have King of Wands. You also came up here as the King of Wands. And we have the Devil at the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Wands. Now remember, we saw that money card, and we also had, or the money stone, and then you had something here. It's not about winning. Your advice here is to make the judgment call that if you were to continue this connection, make sure that it's not coming from some toxic attachment to money or some type of codependency or something about winning. Again, I use work as the example. I know that Mary Jane down the hall really wants my job, but I know if I were to vacate my job, Mary Ann would be the first one to ask to be placed in it or to be promoted to it. And it's like, don't hold on to something that you're not happy with just because you're afraid someone else may get it. Same thing if this is with a friend, family member, or lover. Like, I don't want to tell mom or dad that I'm not happy with them because then they may redirect money or resources to another sibling. Or if your person is stepping out on you with that lies, the Queen of Wands, Five of Swords card, then it's like, well, I don't want to leave this person because so-and-so then gets them, you know, then Bob gets to date them or something like that. It's like, that's not the reason to hold on. So there's a judgment call before I think you even have the discussion. There's a judgment call internal to you that you need to make to ask yourself, why am I holding on to something I'm not happy with? Is it with that territory card? Now that I'm looking at it, that territory card to the Devil card, could you have some type of unhealthy attachment or coping mechanism that's keeping you stuck in a self-imposed prison that you're not happy with? This could also be Capricorn energy to that money card, could also be an addiction to materialism. Like, I don't want to leave this person because we have a really good life together. Or I don't want to leave this job even though I hate it, but it's because I make good money there. So just, I think this is internal to you over the next couple of weeks. Just go with it and ask yourself, is the reason why I'm holding on to this out of some type of toxic pattern within myself? And I think that'll give you your answer. You also have that secondary advice here that when you do choose to move on, you should gain a little bit of clarity here, that clarity card, and have a conversation. But just make sure that the conversation isn't coming from some type of toxic addiction or pattern that you have. That is what I have for you, Taurus, at this time. That is your full moon and Libra relationship reading. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, Taurus, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.